Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to look at how to draft a pencil skirt pattern. Yes, before we draft, we must have our measurements, our waist measurement. We must divide it by 4. Our hip measurement, we also divide it by 4. Yeah, so whatever we get on our hip and waist measurement, we add 1 inch. That 1 inch is for the seam allowance. Yeah. So we also must have our hip. We must have our hip to our waist to hip measurement, our skirt length, and our slit length. So the slit length we have there, it was 2.5, but I later discovered that it is too short, so I made it longer on this pattern. But originally it was, I had measured to be like that. So we must have our pattern paper. We are going to draft the front and the back. So we are having 2 pattern papers. Yeah. 1 pattern paper was not enough to be on fold, so I had to get 2 pattern papers. So we are going to start with measuring the length from the waist to the hip. We measured our hip line, and then from hip line to the skirt length. Yes, our length was 25. So we measure, we come to the middle and also measure again so that the lines can coordinate properly. The measurements can be very accurate. Yeah, so get our ruler and we make those lines. We indicate those lines on both papers. I just indicated on the other paper, on the second pattern paper, so that I don't measure again. So those are our lines. I removed the back pattern paper. So when we are measuring our waistline, we are going to add 1 inch on our waist measurement. That 1 inch is going to cover our dart. Yes, and we come and measure the hip measurement. I told you we divide by 4, so we put that measurement there. And when we come to our skirt length, we are going to subtract 2 inches from the hip measurement, and we mark those points as you can see there. So we connect those points, yeah, the waist to the hip and the hip to the skirt length, as you can see. And then we are going to get our curved ruler and make a curve. We don't want our hip to be sharp, so we bring a curve ruler and we curve it a little bit. Yes. So we are going to make our dart. We come in by 4 inches. Yeah. And then we are going to make 4 inches down. Yeah. We are going to make 4 inches down. We mark the 4 inches. Then we go on that very point. We mark 0.5 on one side and 0.5 on the other side. That is the 1 inch I told you we added on the waistline. So we put that 1 inch there, and then we get our ruler and make that curve, and make that dart rather, not curve, sorry. Yeah, so remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of tutorials you can come and check out. Yeah, and if you need me to make any tutorial, you can come in the comment section and put a comment and say, I need this tutorial. Yeah, we shall make it. So we come and make 1 inch up on the waistline. So we are going to make our waist, the front pattern, come a little bit down in, it will not be straight. The waist will not be straight. Yeah, you can make it straight, but it is better when it's a little bit bent like that. Yeah, but even if you make it straight, it can still work, but that would be the best option. So we are going to curve in to see where our dart is coming. It is going to pass. Yeah, so we are going to curve in a little bit like that. Yeah, so on this on the middle part here, we went in by on their side, we went up by 1 inch, and on the waistline we went in by 0.5 inches. You can go 0.5 or 0.75. So we connect those lines so that when we are cutting out our pattern, when we join it together, the line is straight. It is a straight pattern. There is no like something like a zigzag. So that line is not there. That is a dart. Yeah. So when we bend it, it must be connecting straight as it is supposed to be. So that is our front pattern. Remember, this front pattern now does not have a seam allowance. Then we are going to add 1 inch seam allowance. Yeah, so on every point we are going to add 1 inch. That is to cover our seam allowance. You might decide to cut it on the fabric, but we just decided to make it here on the pattern. So we make that seam allowance, as you can see there, and down we also make our hemming allowance. So it depends on how much you want your hem to be. You might make it longer than that, or you might make it the same as I made it. So me, I'm going to make another 1 inch, that 1 inch. Yeah, but some want a bigger hem, so you can make a bigger hem like you want. If you want to make it bigger, you can add maybe 2 inches on the end, on the skirt length. So we are going to make our back pattern. We get our pattern paper. Remember, we had noted where the points begin from. So we are just going to cross those lines here to make our back pattern. Yes, so we cross those lines, the waistline, the hip line, and then the skirt length. Yeah, so on our pattern, since the back pattern, we are going to have a zipper allowance and a slit. I'm marking 2.5 inches. Yeah, I marked 2.5 inches before I started my pattern. So I'm going to leave the 2.5 inches when I'm starting to draft my back pattern. I will leave them and as an extra and begin to draft. Yeah, so those are 2.5 inches we left. So we bring our front pattern and we make sure the lines are connecting. So that line was not connecting so well, and we made another line to straighten it up to connect to the front pattern, because we are going to use these patterns for the same skirt. So we also come up and mark the lines. So we are just going to connect. There is no much work needed. We are just going to connect those points on the back pattern. Remember, on the back pattern, we've included the seam allowance. We don't need again to put seam allowance. It's already included on the first pattern. So when we connect those points, it is also covering the seam allowance. So you don't need to put a seam allowance again. Yeah, so we connect those points properly. Then we are coming and making our dart. This time when we are making the dart, we are not making it 4, we are making it 3. Yeah, we make it 3 because behind is not like the front. Yeah, so we are making it 3 inches down. Yes, and also we are covering it with the 1 inch we left, as I told you, on our first pattern. So we are going to connect that dart Yeah, like that. So that is our dart for the back pattern. Yes. So we are going now to come on the waistline and make 1 inch, as we said, on the front, like on the front pattern. But this time we are not coming down on, we are stopping that line on the dart. Yeah, we are not making it cross to the other side of the dart. So we fold as that, and now we are going to mark our slit. I saw that the 2.5 was too small. So when we are making our zip allowance, I'm going to indicate 1 inch on the waistline, 1.5 inch on the hip line, and then I go to where our slit will begin and make 1 inch. So it's going to be a little bit of curved. Yeah, it's going to be like a curve. I come and make 1 inch. Yes, so I will connect those points to make our zip allowance. Yeah, so we put our zip allowance, we make it a little bit curvy. You can make it straight, but it fits better when there is a little bit of curve. That's why on our hip allowance we put an extra 0.5 inches. Then when we are going down, we mark straight 1 inch. Yeah, so we are going to make our slit. We are done with the zip allowance, so we are going to make our slit there, and we are going to mark 1 inch to cover our slit. So we make our slit 1 inch, as you've seen. Yeah, so we mark it as that. Yeah, so that's our slit. So we are going to add the 1 inch down also for the hem, yeah, of our garment. We mark it properly, this side and the other side, and it's like we are almost done. Yeah, so that's our pattern. Thank you for watching. That's our back pattern. It has a slit on it, and thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you so much.